name is Sara Griesert, and I teach at Echo Ridge Christian School. This is our 4th year reading for Saluting New Readers and our 2nd time this year, and these are the students from grades 3 through 5. Hope you enjoy.
Hello, my name is Adam Sabols, and I am going to be reading Dolphins for Kids by Patricia Corrigan. The black dolphin isn't really black, but has a dark gray body with a white throat and belly. Black dolphins live off the coast of Chile. Miss Curran said you can't tell how old a spotted dolphin is by how you can tell how old a spotted dolphin is by how many spots it has. The babies are usually born with just a few, she said, and the older animals have lots and lots of spots, hundreds. Spotted dolphins live in oceans all over the world. Striped dolphins have 2 black stripes. They both begin at the dolphin's eye. One stripe runs down to its flipper and one runs the whole length of the dolphin. They also live in oceans all over the world. Most dolphin babies look a lot alike. Bodies look a lot alike. They are sleek, streamlined, designed to propel the animal through the water as fast as 25 miles per hour. All dolphins have flippers, just about where we have arms. Their tails are called flukes. Most dolphins also have fins on their backs, called a dorsal fin. Dorsal fins come in different shapes and sizes. Also, some dolphins have long snouts called beaks. Some porpoises look like dolphins, but porpoises usually have a smaller heads with no snout and small blunt teeth. Dolphins' teeth are sharp and pointed. One dolphin, the narwhal, has unusual teeth. Adult narwhals have just 2 teeth, and one of them grows into a tusk almost 10 feet long. That's about 2/3 the length of the narwhal itself. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to hear the rest of this book, please check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Vincent Hiscock, and I'm going to be reading The Black Stallion by Walter Farley. The captain, the sailors, everybody on boat was kind to Alec, but the days passed monotonously for the homeward bound boy as the Drake steamed its way through the Gulf of Aden and into the Red Sea. The tropic sun beat down mercilessly on the heads of the few passengers aboard. The Drake kept near the coast of Arabia, endless miles of barren desert shore, but Alec's thoughts were not on the scorching sand. Arabia, where the greatest horses in the world were bred. Did another fellow dream of horses the way he did? To him, a horse was the grandest animal in the world. Then one day, the Drake headed for a small Arabian port. As they approached the small landing, Alex saw a crowd of natives milling about in great excitement. Obviously, it was not often that a boat stopped there. But as the gangplank went down with a bang, Alec could see that it was not the ship itself that was attracting all the attention. The natives were crowding toward the center of the landing. Alec heard a whistle, shrill, loud, clear, unlike anything he had ever heard before. He saw a mighty black horse rear on its hind legs, its forelegs striking out into the air. A white scarf was tied across its eyes. The crowd broke and ran. White lather ran from the horse's body. His mouth was open, his teeth bared. He was a giant of a horse, glistening black, too big to be pure Arabian. His mane was like a crest, mounting then falling. His neck was long and slender. and arched to the small, savagely beautiful head. The head was that of the wildest of all wild creatures, a stallion born free, in its beautiful, wild, splendid, a stallion with a wonderful physical perfection that matched his savage, ruthless spirit. Once again, the black screamed and rose on its hind legs. Alec could hardly believe his eyes and ears. A stallion, a wild stallion, unbroken, such he has read and dreamed about. 2 ropes led from the halter of the horse's head, and 4 men were attempting to pull the stallion toward the gangplank. They were going to put him on the ship. Alec saw a dark-skinned man wearing European dress and a high white turban, giving directions. In his hand he held a whip. He gave his orders tersely in a language unknown to Alec. Suddenly he walked to the rear of the horse and let the hard whip fall on the black's hindquarters. The stallion bolted so fast that he struck one of the natives holding the rope. Down the man went and lay still. The black snorted and plunged. If ever Alec saw hate expressed by a horse, he saw it then. They had him halfway up the plank. Alec wondered where they would put him if they ever did succeed in getting him on the boat. Then he was on. Alec saw Captain Watson waving his arms frantically, motioning and shouting for the men to pull the stallion toward the stern. The boy followed at a safe distance. Now he saw the makeshift stall into which they were attempting to get the black. It had once been a good-sized cabin. The Drake had little accommodation for transporting animals. Its hold was already heavily laden with cargo. Hello, thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to hear the rest of the story, please check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Sunny Gill, and I'll be reading Where Are My Puffins, Whales and Seals by Ron Hursky. Puffins need islands safe from hungry cats and trampling feet. They lay eggs in burrow nest, tucked safe beneath the ground. From these eggs, baby puffins hatch. But they will survive only where water is free from spilled oil and filled with plenty of fish to eat. Puffins will raise babies on this island in the sea if we keep it safe. They will fly with their rainbow bills filled with silver fish. But where are the whales? Can they live here too? Watch the distant waters closely for their steaming spout. Push! The whale breathes out, then breathes in, and dives deep, deep beneath the ocean waves. Nearby birds called feral ropes swirl on the ocean swells. They stir the water to catch plankton no bigger than your toes. Feral ropes are so small you could hold one in your hand. Yet the biggest of whales will eat the same food as these tiny birds. Humpbacks, grays, and giant blue whales, some of which grow bigger than any dinosaur that ever lived on land, eat tons of this food every day. With the help of caring sea lovers, some whales are finally safe from the hunter's harpoon. Gentle gray whales have recovered and now swim the eastern Pacific. Will we keep the ocean clean and protect the whales' food to save all the mammals of the sea? Will seals be safe in these waters too? Fur seals swim far away from the shore and sleep out in the open sea. They live each day in danger where oil covers the waves and fishing nets entangle their bodies. Harbor seals swim closer to the shore, sleeping for hours on rocks and even on docks. The seals' friendly faces poke through the emerald green water. Where sea otters swim too? Curious and playful, the seal might follow your boat if you paddle quietly past. Leave the seals in their safe hideaway beach. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to listen to the rest of the book, please check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Forrest Welch, and I'm going to be reading Robert and the Great Pepper Road. I'm going to be reading a certain chapter, Up a Tree. Robert was cat sitting for Mrs. Lanny over the weekend. He stopped at her house on his way home. He opened the front door with the key she had given him. Ginger came right up to him with a big meow. Mrs. Lanny had left their cans of food on the kitchen counter. Robert opened one of the cans and dumped the contents into Ginger's dish. Ginger went right to it when Robert put it down. Then he filled her water dish with fresh water. While Ginger ate, Robert went out to the back door to the yard. He saw a big yellow dog on the other side of the fence. A doghouse stood on the corner of the yard. "Hi," he said, walking over to the fence. The dog was on a chain. Its tail wagged furiously. It came over and nuzzled Robert's fingers through the fence with his big pink nose. Robert looked at the dog's tags. There was one tag to show it had its rabies shot. Another one had its telephone number, but no name. The dog was skinny. Robert searched in his pockets for some kind of food, but all he came up with was a red gummy bear covered with fuzz. It had to go now. It had to go now. "I have to go now," he said, scratching behind the dog's ears. Robert went back to the house to lock up, but as he opened the back door, Ginger zoomed out. "Hey," cried Robert. Hey, cried Robert. He ran after her, but the cat climbed up the big apple tree in the yard. He looked down at him from a branch that was way out of reach. A ladder rested against the tree. Was it for picking apples in the fall, or did Ginger always climb trees? Robert wondered. He started to climb the ladder. On the fourth rung, his legs felt shaky. He let himself down one rung at a time. When his feet were on the ground again, he felt better. Here, Ginger, kitty, kitty. Robert went into the house and called his mother. Thank you for listening to me read. Unless you want to hear the rest of the story, check it out at your local library.
My name is Brent, and I'm going to be reading The Blue Angels. The 6 pilots take off from the runway in their planes. The audience at the air show watches these pilots perform daring maneuvers and stunts. The pilots roll, dive, and fly upside down. They sometimes fly as one unit. At other times, 2 pilots perform maneuvers separate from the other planes. A group of U.S. military pilots flies the planes. This group is called the Blue Angels. The Blue Angels represent the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Marine Corps. The military leaders hope that the Blue Angels will inspire people to consider a career in these groups. Blue Angels perform at about 70 air shows each show season. Their show season runs from March through November. The Blue Angels perform at about 35 locations during these months. The Blue Angels often perform at air shows throughout the United States. They sometimes fly in Canada, Japan, and European countries. In 1992, the Blue Angels became the first flight demonstration team to perform in Russia. Blue Angels shows last about 45 minutes. 6 pilots perform during these shows. The pilots usually perform at about 30 different maneuvers during each show. They leave only 15 seconds between the maneuvers. The Blue Angels often fly together in formation. The main Blue Angel formation is called the Delta. All 6 pilots form a triangle shape in this formation. 2 pilots sometimes perform maneuvers separate from the formations. These pilots are called solos. Solos and the pilots in formation take turns performing during shows. The narrator also takes part in shows. This Blue Angel describes the pilot's maneuvers to the audience. The narrator also takes reporters for rides at each show. The Blue Angels fly FA-18 Hornets. These planes are both fighter and attack planes. Fighter planes are designed to shoot down enemy planes. Attack planes are designed to hit ground targets. The FA-18s are painted with blue with gold trim. Blue and gold are the Navy's official colors. The Navy flight demonstration teams before the Blue Angels. The Navy had flight demonstration teams before the Blue Angels. In 1927, the Navy organized the 3 Seahawks. This 3-pilot demonstration team flew until September 1928. The High Hatters of VF-1B flew from 1929 until the early 1930s. The Marine Corps also formed a flight demonstration team. This team flew during the early 1930s, but flight demonstration teams disbanded when World War II began. The U.S. military needed its pilots to perform combat duties. By 1946, many of the military members who had served during World War II had left the military. At the time, James Forrestal was the Secretary of the Navy. Chester Nimitz was chief of the naval operations. The 2 men wanted to inspire people to join the Navy by forming a flight demonstration team. Forrestal and Nimitz sent a message about their idea to the officials at the Naval Air Advanced Training Command in Pensacola, Florida. Many Navy pilots train at this Naval Air Station, NAS. If you want to listen to the rest of this book, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Joey Chavez, and I'll be reading The Mystery of the Magi's Treasure by Elspeth Campbell Murphy. Timothy Dodson sometimes wondered what it would be like to be really, really bad. Not the kind of bad where you beat up on people or steal things, but just the kind of bad where you're always acting up and goofing off, and no one expected you to behave yourself. Timothy sometimes wondered what it'd be like to be one of the Kevins. The Kevins were the 3 boys who went to the church where Timothy's grandfather was the pastor. Timothy and his cousins, Sarah Jane Cooper and Titus McKay, knew the Kevins slightly from being in the same Sunday school class with them when the cousins visited. But it was more like they knew of the Kevins. But then everybody knew of the Kevins. The 3 boys had met when they had all toddled into the same nursery Sunday school class on the same day. They had been together ever since. Every teacher they'd ever known had declared, those 3 boys should be separated. But somehow Kevin O'Connell, Kevin Jones, and Kevin Weston managed to stay together, always acting up and goofing off, and no one ever expected them to behave themselves. And that's how, on the hottest day of the summer so far, Titus, Timothy, and Sarah Jane came to be wearing long, flowering robes and fancy crowns. They were supposed to be the 3 wise men. They were not too happy about it. And it was all because of the Kevins. It had happened like this. The resort town where the cousins' grandparents lived got a lot of tourists in the summertime, and there were a lot of artists who lived there all year round. So every summer the town sponsored a sidewalk art fair. This year the theme was Christmas in July, and everybody was going out. Even the churches had gotten involved. They had joined together for a free outdoor concert and carol sing-along, complete with peppermint ice cream and Christmas cookies. The problem was making sure that the visitors knew about the concert. The churches had put up posters, of course. But then someone thought it would be a good idea to have the church people go among the crowds and hand out leaflets. And then someone else said that this sounded like a good job for the kids. And then someone else said that it would be cute to have the kids dress as angels and shepherds. And then someone else said, do not forget the 3 wise men. So it was decided that a few kids from each church would go around in costumes handing out leaflets about the concert, while the other kids would be in the choir. The trouble came when someone who didn't know of the Kevins picked them to be the 3 wise men. Thank you for listening to me read. If you want to read the rest of this book, check it out at your local library.
My name is Joey Donovan, and I'll be reading But No Elephants. Grandma Tildy lived all alone. She worked hard every day. She had no time to play. One day, a man came to her house. He was selling pets. "Would you like to buy a canary bird?" asked the man. "Very well," said Grandma Tildy, "but no elephants." Grandma Tildy was cooking stew. The bird wanted to help, so he sang her a song. It made Grandma Tildy happy. That night, they sat down to eat the stew together. It tasted better than before. The next day, the pet man came again. "Would you like to buy a beaver?" he asked. "Very well," said Grandma Tildy, "but no elephants." Grandma Tildy needed firewood. The beaver wanted to help, so he cut the wood with his sharp teeth. That night, they sat in front of the warm fire. Grandma Tildy went shopping. She met the pet man again. "Would you like to buy a turtle?" he asked. "Very well," said Grandma Tildy, "but no elephants." Grandma Tildy was tired. The turtle wanted to help, so he carried her home on his back. That night, Grandma Tildy washed the turtle and put him to bed. The next day, it rained hard. The roof started to leak. Then someone knocked on the door. It was you-know-who. "Would you like to buy a woodpecker?" the pet man asked. "Very well," said Grandma Tildy, "but no elephants." The woodpecker wanted to help, so he nailed the roof down tight. The dripping stopped. That night, they all danced together in the warm, dry house. The days got colder and colder. Grandma Tildy put food in jars for the winter. "I don't like the cold," she said. Just then, the pet man appeared. "Would you like to buy an elephant?" he asked. "He's the only animal left, and I must leave before it snows." "No, no elephants," shouted Grandma. She went back to her work. The pet man left. But the elephant stayed. It started to snow and kept on snowing. Snowing and snowing and snowing. "But no elephant," said Grandma Tildy, but the elephant would not go. They couldn't see the elephant now, but they could hear him crying. They felt sad. Thank you for listening to me read. If you would like to hear the rest of the story, check it out at your local library.
Hi, my name is Daniel Khatib, and I'm going to be reading The Secret Room. One day there was a king traveling through the desert. There he met a man. Why is your head gray and your beard black? Because my head is older than my beard. The king was pleased with the man's reply. You must tell no one. You must not tell anyone until you have seen my face 99 times, the king uttered. When the king returned home, he asked his chief counselor, why does a man's hair turn gray before his beard? The chief counselor didn't know why. He was not clever enough to figure it out, but he was shrewd. He asked one of his king's companions where they had traveled. Then he rode out into the desert. He found the man. Why is your head gray and your beard black? I cannot tell you, said the man. I am the king's chief counselor, and if you do not tell me, I'll have you thrown in prison. If you do, I'll give you 1,000 gold coins. 99 copper coins will do, said the man. The chief counselor gave him the money, and he got the answer. What a fool that man is, to have asked for so little. When the chief counselor answered the king's question, the king summoned the man at once. You have disobeyed me, but your majesty, I had followed your orders, said the man. How so? Asked the king. I did not tell him until I had seen your majesty's face 99 times on these coins, said the man. The king was so impressed with the man's cleverness that he appointed him treasurer, and the man served the king diligently. In time, the king came to value his advance in all the matters and rewarded him handsomely. As the man's influence grew, so did the chief counselor's. Even day and night he thought, I must get rid of that man. So he accused the man of stealing gold and treasury and hiding it in his house. When the king heard this, he went to the man's house. They searched for a long time but found nothing. Thank you for listening to me read. If you'd like to hear the end of the story, check it out at your local library.
Hello, my name is Bobby Donovan, and I will be reading If You Give a Pig a Pancake. If you give a pig a pancake, she'll want some syrup to go with it. You'll give her some of your favorite maple syrup. She'll probably get all sticky, so she'll want to take a bath. She'll ask you for some bubbles. When you give her the bubbles, she'll probably ask you for a toy. You'll have to find your rubber duck. The duck will remind her of the farm where she was born. She might feel homesick and want to visit her family. She'll want you to come too. She'll look through your closet for a suitcase. She'll look under your bed. When she's under your bed, she'll find your old tap shoes. When she's all dressed, she'll ask for some music. You'll play your very best piano piece and she'll start dancing. She'll want you to take her picture, so you'll have to get your camera. When she sees the picture, she'll ask you to take more. Then she'll want to send one to each of her friends. You'll have to give her some envelopes and stamps. and take her to the mailbox. On the way, she'll see the tree in the backyard. She'll want to build a tree house. So you'll have to get her some wood, a hammer, and some nails. When the tree house is finished, she'll want to decorate it. She'll ask you for some wallpaper and glue. When she hangs the wallpaper, she'll get all sticky. Feeling sticky will remind her of her favorite maple syrup. She'll probably ask you for some. And chances are, if she asks you for some syrup, she'll want a pancake to go with it. Thank you for listening to me read.
Hi, my name is Alex Phillips, and I'm going to be reading The Practically Complete Guide to Almost Real Musical Instruments for Nearly Everyone, a poem book by Harvey Rudolph. The Blomp. They say that when the sun goes down, that's when the Blomp walks into town, and it whistles till the break of day. Anyway, that's what they say. I've heard that when the skies are dark, the Blomp strolls gaily through the park, and whistles tunes just like a bird. Anyway, that's what I've heard. Now is some black and spooky night. You step outside to see the sight. The Blomp will eat your shoes and hat. Nobody ever tells you that. The Vendorina. A button for treble, a button for bass, one for each line and one for each space. A button for fast and a button for slow, a button for stop and a button for go. Buttons for rhythm, buttons for tones, buttons in bunches and buttons alone. But the absolute very best button of all is the one you press for a malted milk ball. The Musivac 707. Drop a penny in the slot, turn the crank with all you've got. Grab the handle, shift the gear, push the pedal, shout, all clear. Now in order to begin, put another penny in. Spin the wheel to the right, twist the knob until it's tight. Press the button holder steady, flick the switch, you're almost ready. Now in order to commence, please deposit 50 cents. Watch the dial, wind the spring, keep your eye on everything. Set the timer, check the straps, fasten clips, and snap the snaps. Here we go, or we will if you insert a dollar bill. Nothing more is needed now, start to play, and holy cow, it's not my fault it won't begin. I thought you had plugged it in. The Contragump. I can't agree with those who say the Contragump is hard to play. I didn't find it hard at all. But then I'm over 12 feet tall. The Gronette. A Gronette makes you very proud because it plays so awfully loud. It doesn't whisper, doesn't mumble. When it plays, buildings crumble. Be the first one in your block to give the neighborhood a shock. Take the Gronette in your hand and make your town a no man's land. If your skill should be disputed, play a tone that's softly muted. Even this should be enough to blow up stores and stuff. While your neighbors rub their eyes, the dust and smoke begin to rise. In such a pretty mushroom cloud, I told you it would make you proud. Thank you for listening to me read.
What do you love?
Reading!
Where do you go to school?
Echo Ridge Christian School!
And what grade are you in?
3rd, 4th, and 5th!
And what do you love?
Reading!
Hip hip hooray!
Hip